The first thing I have to say, have you ever considered why are you doing this? Have you ever asked yourself?
Yes.
Yeah? And what was your answer? Most common answer?
Because I like it more than anything else.
Okay, that's one. But what is your end goal to it? Did you think about it?
Yes. To be a world champion.
To be the world champion. Okay, you can be world champion at one point. But what after that?
I have my own gym.
Okay, so your whole life is about fighting.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. A lot of us start with this because we don't have anything else to do and it's fun. And we like fighting and we like doing things, but if you have a goal, and the goal is to be world champion, and you don't know why you want to be world champion, and that's a problem that causes you problems during your fight career, and that blocks your head. So this is a very important thing. Very important thing is this self-discovery. You have to self-discover and honestly, because you can only lie to yourself until one point, but the truth always comes out and it eats you alive. Only when you are just free and loose from all these things that bind you, then you can be the best at what you do. And by the best, I don't mean not everybody's fit to be world champion, and it really at the end it doesn't matter if you're a world champion or not. Who gives a shit? When you're world champion today, wow, you're great, and when you stop fighting, like 2 months, who's that? Who are you? People forget you. The belts, you throw it in the corner. I have like 50 medals that I don't know where they are. My kids play with it. They broke all my trophies, and you just don't give a shit about it, It's a thing that goes through. The only thing that is important and that you get from the sport and that will make you successful later is what you carry inside from it. And to be good in fighting sport, you have to learn to give your best and always to be honest to yourself. Only when you admit what you're afraid of, only when you admit who you are, because a lot of us are hiding who we are because it's embarrassing and people will judge us, point a finger at us. Who gives a shit? We grew up in this kind of environment. It was 90s, communism here, and chaos, fighting. And man, if you have anything that's slightly feminine, like if you like to dance or you like to do something that is not macho, when you get bullied, you get your ass kicked, and you get evicted from every how to say it, every crowd, every people don't want to hang out with you because it's embarrassing. But you have to get it that sooner or later this group of people will evict you. They will judge you and they will laugh at you. But the only thing that matters is that you're happy with yourself. So if you want to go dancing, go dancing. If you want to do ballet, do fucking ballet. But it's important is for you to be happy. It's the same in the sport. If you're doing to impress somebody, you will fail. Even if you become world champion, but for that reason, you will be miserable and unhappy. And my point is, I'm telling this to everybody, but people don't really understand it. I don't care if you're a world champion in my gym. I don't care if you're champion of anything. For me, the most important thing is to see that you're happy with who you are and what you're doing. And by that, I'm always sure that you will be successful in everything in life. I was never a world champion. I could have been if I wanted to fight in some small organizations, something like that. But for me, it's nothing. In my time, it was K1, and if you're a K1 champion, then you're worth something. Showtime also. All the other belts, I didn't give a fuck about them, because I knew if I had them, it's only gonna be a lie. That I'm telling myself, oh, I'm a champion. No, I am a champion of that organization, but I was fighting some bum from the street and then made me champion. It doesn't give me anything. So the point is, titles that you give to yourself have to be real. have to be real. How many times you fought some guy that had like 10 belts like this, and you fucking knock him out in first minute? You hit him once and you fall down. You said, what the fuck happened? This truth always comes to you, because you can never live a lie long. Some do, some can, but then they reach like 40s and 50s, they fell into deep depression, they kill themselves. You see, you know, you always wonder, you have these old actors, you have these singers, all these successful people, they commit suicide. They start using drugs because they're fucking miserable. They did it because they're good at it, not because they like it. There's a big difference in these two things. To do something because you're good at it, or to do something because you like it. You don't have to be good at it to do something that will make you happy. Being good at it is just, okay, I'm good at it. I'm doing it only because it was meant for me to do. But do you want meant or anything else guide your life? You know? And the hardest thing in life is to admit yourself. What you like, what you dislike, what are your fears, what are the things that's inside. Only when you say it, most of you, I know, you don't understand Serbian, but the ones that saw podcasts that I did, you know how hard for me was to say all these things, honestly, in front of like hundreds of thousands of people watching. It was not easy. But the first time I did it, the first time I said, because people said, oh, you were great, you were so... I wasn't great. If I was great, I would be among the legends like Peter Arts, Ernesto Hust, all these legends, you know. I was good only because I gave my best, and it was my passion and I liked it. But I wasn't meant to be a champion. My body couldn't follow it. I was always injured. I had 30 broken bones. I always had something. I reach to a point, and then something happens. I break my hands, I break my leg, I break my hip, and it always pulls me back. And for me, it was a sign. It was a big sign that, okay, I gave my best, and every time I reach to a peak, something happens. It means that I need to like rediscover myself, to think who I am, what I want. And what I learned, because through all my life, there was always somebody that I helped, somebody that was with me, somebody that, you know, needed something from me that helped him grow. And I said, okay, I have this energy to do these kind of things. And then I started coaching. And then I saw, like, from the first generation of my fighters that were like not talented, that were nothing, that were like kids playing computer. And with no ambition in sports. When I see that I can make champions from them, and then I can make them strong, you know, and then I can take 17-year-old kid to Kunlun with 14 fights, and he can fight their champion equally, you know. And I said, okay, I'm somewhere where I belong. So I started developing on that. But you know, when you grow, when you're a kid, like your age, in puberty or something like that, you know, when you're growing, you know, you are afraid that people will discard you. They will push you from their crew. Because, man, there's something that I like, but if I say that I like it, if I start doing that, man, they will say that I'm a pussy, they will say that I'm this, they will say that I'm that, you know, and they won't be able, they wouldn't want to hang with me. But it's okay, it's better to push them right away than to lose your years with them. Because sooner or later you will lose them. Because you cannot lie to yourself, whole thing. It's like in a relationship, when we may meet a girl and we see what she likes and we become everything she likes, forgetting what we are. And you know, while it's fun, while you're in love, while now everything is there, strong chemistry, you can go with that. But then later, you know, she's there for 1 year, 2 years beside you. Man, I'm tired of doing this. I want to be myself. And then you start being yourself and say, oh, you're not the guy that you were, and then the trouble in relationship starts. And then everything breaks. It's the same thing in life. Always represent yourself as you are. Don't care. And you know, what is the important thing in that when you represent yourself? Always represent yourself tall. You know what that means? Always take pride in what you like, in what you say, and demand respect. Always demand respect, and you're gonna get respect. If you come to say, okay, I like this, but I said, okay, this guy's unsure, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna destroy. He said, because people enjoy putting other people down. Not everybody, but most of it. Especially in this time, we live in a society where clowns and hyenas rule. Clowns are presidents and politicians. You see, there are more clowns than politicians. There are more affairs, more stupid things, more jokes are made on them than everybody else, and nobody takes them seriously, and they're ruining the world. And crowd like a bunch of hooligans, 20 hooligans come and then they dictate the way you're gonna live. You can be a lion, but you're one lion. 20 hyenas will eat you. This is the society we live in. But if you are who you are and you develop yourself strong, then the hyenas will go away. They won't attack you. Because at the end, they are still hyenas. And you're a fucking lion. And you don't have to be a warrior. You don't have to be a fighter to be a lion. Lions are people that proudly represent themselves of who they are, and what they stand for. So now, what I want from you is to tell me your fears. Let's see who's ready, and don't be embarrassed of it. It's totally normal. I have fears. Everybody. I'm a fear to be average. My biggest fear is to be average. To be as anyone to point me to say he's like that, man. It fucking kills me. If I live that, I'm gonna commit suicide. That's why I'm fighting. I'm working. I'm doing all these things that will help me be different.
I have fear of losing.
Of losing?
Yeah, that's what, when I first started fighting, that's what paralyzed me the most from fighting. When I would be in the ring, was actually that I didn't want to lose face in front of people, just to lose, or admitting that someone is better than me at something that I like doing.
Yeah, but this is the most common fear. Everybody has this.
Yeah.
Everybody. I must say I have it. Everybody has it. But the way to overcome it is to accept it, that it is a possibility.
Yeah.
Not to be feared from it. Accept it. Okay, it can happen. But the only thing you can do is to give your best.
Yeah.
And just think of that. Don't think of losing. Okay, it's there. It's an option.
Yeah.
And it can happen. When they say losing is not an option, man, it's always an option. You can be King Kong, and something can happen. You can slip, fall down on your head, get knocked out by yourself. Your opponent doesn't have to be better than you to defeat you. Sometimes luck, something happens that you lose.
Yeah, but it's not only about fighting. It's just like sometimes when you start something, you're always afraid that it's gonna fail, and sometimes when you think like that, it prevents you to actually really go forward and not fail. It actually makes failing a bigger possibility when you're afraid of it.
Yeah, but don't be afraid. Thomas Edison, you know who he is? He invented the light bulb. To Thomas Edison.
He didn't invent it. It was
okay, but at the end,
Tesla.
At the end, no, Tesla invented, but Thomas made a problem. He had 1,000 failed experiments until he made the first light bulb, and everybody forgot this 1,000 failed tries. Nobody get it. The end result is important. It doesn't matter how much you fail. Just continue. As for my road in life, I failed at everything first time. Everything. I never did anything right at the start. Never. It's like in relationship. The first relationship, you're the worst. Then you learn from it. Then you go to the second relationship. Then you're a little bit better because you're not doing things that you've done, and you're not. And then at the end, you're yourself. It's the same in everything. Just guys know. I think of a project. I say I'm going to do BNC. It's going to be like this and this. And I told them what I'm gonna do, and tomorrow I start working on it. I don't even have a clue where I'm gonna get funding, where I'm gonna do this. I don't have a fucking clue, I don't know. But I just start, I have an idea, okay, it's a good idea, start working on it tomorrow. Because if you think through a lot, you will never do it. It's like climbing on the bridge, and you want to jump the bridge. And if you don't jump right away, you're never gonna jump. You know, because your head starts putting you options. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? And then fear creates. It overcomes you, and you're paralyzed. You know, like in a fight, when you're standing in front of the fighter, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know, you start how to attack him, how to start. Just throw a jab. Throw anything. When you throw the first one, everything will come through. But if you're standing, if you're waiting, I would attack, then you pull back. I would attack, then pull back. You're gone. That's why I invented this 1, 2, 3, 4 combinations. You know, you create something that you're sure of, that you can connect, and it's there in your subconscious. When you sleep, you can do it. And whenever you don't know how to do it, I scream it, you do it, and it usually goes through. Yeah. But it doesn't go through because I saw it going through. It goes through because if you connect punches, you can miss 1, 2, but 3rd or 4th will get it. Nobody can like defend from 5, 6 punches. You know, even you can't. Nobody can. So this is the same in life. You know, try. Just go. Work on it. Fall. Okay. I went 5 steps. I went 5 steps. So the first 4 were good. I keep this first 4. 5th step, I change. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I fall down again. Okay, I change this step. Always learn. And if you cannot remember, for me, it's good. I always have a book. I always write. Right. Okay. I'm gonna be a world champion. Okay. World champion title. What I need to do to become a world champion? First, find a gym or a coach. Second, develop yourself. Third, have fights. You know, and then you just start adding things to your list. And okay, here find a gym. No more this. You run through it, and you start it. And then this is how you do things. It's also in redeveloping yourself. You write on paper. If you cannot say it, if you just cannot say it, you know, not everybody can. Say it to yourself. But you know, sometimes when you look in the mirror and say to yourself, "Oh, I'm afraid," mind just doesn't register it because you don't want to hear it. They're just things that we're so afraid of that we don't even want to hear it from ourselves. So write them and read them. And whenever you think, just open the book. Okay, it's there. You know, just a reminder. And when you see it, then you can get over it. You can defeat it. You cannot defeat an enemy that you don't see. You know, nobody can. But if you write it, you're gonna see it. And then you will find a way. From this, I always make like dots, options. Okay, to be able to defeat, I have to do this. And you start working on it. The same pattern is everywhere. So work on it. Work on yourself. You're here, okay? We're talking. I always say, whatever the problem is, I can see when you have problems. I can see when Milos has problems. When Milos came here, I'm going to put him as an example. He came here because he created an avatar in his head that was called Show Me. And, you know, he invested all of his energy to create that avatar to be undefeated, to be the best. From all these things that he heard, that he went through life, because, you know, when you go somewhere alone and you develop yourself alone, and then you hit bumps, hit here. But he said, okay, I'm not taking option B I'm not taking option B ever. There's only one option A for me to be a champion. And he came to China. He came there. And then he started winning rules, and then he changed the gym. And then when he ran through this first wave, he said, okay, this is who I am. I'm too good. I'm great. I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna be the best. Then he came here. Then I saw all his flaws. And I said, okay, we cannot fight. And he said, I will fight everyone, anyone, which is great attitude. This is amazing attitude. But you always have to be willing to take suggestions to go in ready for this. It's not about can you do it. It's about are you prepared in this moment to do it. I know that you can't do it. But I knew that if I tell him, no, you're not gonna do it, you're not ready, his avatar is gonna, like, at that spot, he's not even gonna hear me, he's gonna eject it. He's gonna say me, yes, maybe you're right, but I don't wanna hear it. Because I made it so far, I developed myself so far, and I'm gonna complete it to the end. And then we start going to fights. And he wins, but I show him a flaw. This is the thing about developing. Nothing is at once. There is no shock therapy. Shock therapy can only get you depressed. You have to allow yourself or allow others that you help to learn on their mistakes. Okay? And everybody of you that train with him, see how much he developed, and how much he evolved and changed. He is ready for that, but he wasn't ready when he came, because he never had anybody to teach him. He was self-taught, you know? And this is also a very important thing in developing yourself, to find somebody that you trust and that you can rely on, and that you know that is going to be there for you no matter what. This is very important thing. It don't have to be your coach. It can be your best friend, it can be your girlfriend. It can be anyone that believes in you. But to be able to grow, you have to be willing to listen to people. And now, I see that he's on the right path. Because he's listening, he's changing, he's evolving, he's here, you know? He didn't go. He got knocked out, he get up, okay? I wanted to learn. And this is what champions do. Champions are not the guy that are undefeated. I don't acknowledge undefeated champions. Because how many champions you see when they first time fall, they're never the same. Because through this road of developing, you have to fall. You have to experience pain. You know, to be happy in one relationship, sometimes you have to feel heartbroken sometimes. Somebody has to hurt you to know what not to do in able to be happy. It's the same in fights. You have to be knocked out. You have to experience what this cage, this ring, is preparing for you. You know, because as much as you are all training, that guy's training the same. That's the opposite, and has the same dreams, has the same goals, has everything the same as you.